In the next activity, we're going to talk about how mountains are made, where volcanoes are, introduce the Ring of Fire. One book you're going to get is How is a Mountain Made? It is definitely a young book, but it's got some great information in it and helps the kids see about the Earth, some of Earth's process there. Another thing you're going to get is a subscription to Mystery Science. If you are not familiar with Mystery Science, get excited. It's really, really cool. One activity, this is actually in the 4th grade activity. This is called Could a Volcano Pop Up Where You Live? And I've just pulled it up here. It's going to show backwards to you, so I'm not going to show you the whole thing. But what's kind of cool about it, well, no, what's really cool about it is it walks through everything the whole way through you.
Wow.
And where's my volume?
This stuff is so hot.
This is Doug,
Anything
and he
flammable that lava
introduces
touches,
everything.
check it out.
So as he goes through, he's
Instantly
explaining
catches
what's
fire.
happening.
Or
Then he has you stop, discuss before we go any further. I'm curious to hear your ideas. So it's a great discussion to have with kids. Now he goes on to a little bit more of a story in Mexico.
Now there's something else I should tell you about the area where Dionisio Pulido lived.
And he's already
Earlier in
introduced that
history,
earlier.
People had recorded other volcanoes.
Now, this is the introduction to the activity. He's going to walk through the whole thing and tell the kids, you can listen right along, tell them exactly what they're going to do. But without listening to him, it's easier. I'm going to explain it. And I also have put this made it so that you could use it virtually. In addition to using his, I have put it onto a Google Slides presentation that you could use. So you're going to take the kids and put them into groups. And each group is going to get, and I usually do 2 groups of 4, so that didn't make sense. I'm usually going to use 4 groups twice. So I have 8 groups. Does that make sense? And just that way you don't have too many having to work on the paper together. They're going to get a list of volcanoes and they're going to get a map. And I only printed these off on half sheets just for the purpose of showing you. This also is all the information is included on the Mystery Science. You're going to give this to the kids. They're going to plot using the latitude and longitude, and they have put them with letters and alphabet so that it's easier to see with letters and numbers on it for the kids to plot where the volcanoes are. So there's one for North America, one for Asia, one for South America, and one for Australia and the nearby islands. What's kind of cool is each group is going to do their map. When they're done with it, they bring it back to you. Then you take them, actually you get them all together and have them assemble their maps so that they put them together into one big map. That's interesting conversation just to hear on its own of the kids trying to figure out where each one goes. And so if you put them around like this, you will see that they don't make that much of a puzzle. But if you put them closer like this, and you have them, and you cut off the edges of them, the kids will see that you have your Ring of Fire going here. And this is a great way to introduce the Ring of Fire. And Doug on Mystery Science talks you through the whole rest of it. He will also talk you through finding your partner, moving on. He has a timer there. He shows you gives everybody a job, tells them how to check off their work when they found it. Then it goes through a good discussion question. If you had to describe where volcanoes are, can you draw a path? Then it gives you more video on it and talks it through and finally wraps it up with a final video at the very end of it. So that is only one lesson in mystery science. Play with it. There's a lot in the 4th grade, especially with the around the birth of rocks and volcanoes and stuff like that. There's a great weathering one where kids have to take a piece of paper and they tear up a piece of paper as it goes down, so it shows how weathering is happening. There's another one that talks about groundwater again. Where would you have a city? And how could you figure out how to build a well? But play with mystery science. There are so many, and so many activities on it, and it is plug and play.